Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Oilers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback Nick Foles.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Foles. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. The cornerback, it's Logan Ryan who brings him down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 2nd and 9, Foles. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second down, here's Fournette. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Defensively, here are the starters for Houston. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And I've loved watching this unit on tape because throughout this season, I've seen them do all the right things. They're about as talented a group as I've seen, and they know how to stop the run.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Foles. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback. Out of Oregon, it's Marcus Mariota.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And Davis has it over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And that's McCoy, who is still down following the play. Appears shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Mariota. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 25 yards that time.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A shotgun give to Fournette. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 18 carries, 78 yards, and a touchdown.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right, got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's complete to Grant. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and goal, Foles got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Ryan Grant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Zuerlein good with a PAT. And the lead grows to 10-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second quarter down, it's our home team with possession. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. From the gun, Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times, it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Fournette running out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now out comes Houston. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the shotgun, it's a give to McCord. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Lewis here on 1st down. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A.J. Boye up to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Mariota on first down. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Working out of the gun, Mariota. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Gearing up for their next possession, Nick Foles and the Jags. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Dion Lewis getting set to go again here with his guys on offense. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
It's so educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mariota. And Davis with it left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards, a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mariota now. A quick hitter complete. It's Grant. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 3rd down, it's Lewis, and he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. To throw on 2nd and 10. Foles. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And it's fielded at the 34. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
And you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now Foles. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Jacksonville.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 53. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half here, Mariota. And that'll be incomplete. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL here on this first day of November. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Andrew Luck leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, it's off to North Carolina to check on the Panthers at home in Charlotte, and they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Mitchell Trubisky's looking good. 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In the game you're watching, it's the former Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles with a strong first half. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They try again with Lewis. Oh, and Lewis lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep this confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. They took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down. But, hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
Zuerlein good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on 1st down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 3rd down, Barnes. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there. Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Here's Mariota. Over the middle, complete. That's Taylor. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. Contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag?
I was just going to say
get out
that.
of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
No gain on the dump-off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll look to throw here. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Mariota going to give to Lewis. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
It sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let him know.
Now Leonard Fournette. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. Right here. Check 9.
Here's a give to Fournette. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Fournette running right. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Foles now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A handoff to Fournette. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Check.
Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. He caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Now Greg Zuerlein. We all remember the 57-yarder that sent the Rams to the Super Bowl. This will be from 56 yards out. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Mariota. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A first down screen pass, good for 5. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the...
Here comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. This offense on 3rd down today, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs. Now Mariota. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the 4th.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw is Mariota. And Walker with it over the middle. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Mariota to throw it this time. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Throwing, Mariota. Now the ball comes loose, and the Jags grab it. Offense for them has been in a and he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 30, 10, and that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Jaguars now. They have played a really good game. They're just looking for one final stop here and celebrate this victory.
And if you're on offense, you don't want them to have that satisfaction. You know that you're not going to win the game, but you don't want them to roll in those big grins on their faces. So you want to come up with something right here, some type of a big play to dent that good mood.
And they'll be trying to not let that dent happen and go home happy. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that done.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Throwing is Mariota. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Grant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Check, 47. Watch the screen.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Mariota to throw it. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Mariota. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And the Jags grab it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand.
Here we go.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Jags, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.